Welcome back from Christmas break. This video is going to help you remember how we can divide polynomials. So this is going to be the harder example of the two. So let's say we're given the question x cubed plus 3x squared minus x minus 3. And we have to divide that polynomial by x plus 3. Okay, so we are going to use the reverse tabular method. We're going to learn a long division method in the next couple days, but we don't know that yet, so we're going to use the tabular method. And if you'll recall, one thing that'll help us out with the structure is you look at the highest degree of the numerator and the highest degree of the denominator. So we've got our 3 minus 1 gives us 2, and then we have to add one more column on top of that. So instead of just having 2 columns, we are going to have 3 columns. So 1, 2, 3. And because we have a binomial in the denominator, we're going to have a binomial on the side. Okay, so we've got x and 3. And the easiest way to start is in this bottom right corner. We can start with our constant term. So that's one way we can begin. Most students prefer to do it that way, but others prefer to keep this x cubed, this leading value here, and put that in our top left. So either one will work. We'll just do both right now, and you'll see how it'll match up correctly. So, like I said, you only need to do one of those. So at this point, 3 times something needs to give us negative 3. So notice negative 3. 3 times something gives us negative 3. Well, that's obviously just negative 1. Okay? So now we can multiply negative 1 times x and get negative 1x. And we've got to look back up at our initial polynomial here. So you can see our negative 3 is already taken care of. Next, we've got our negative x, which is taken care of. So these two diagonals have to combine to give us our x term. And we already have what we need. So in this box, we're just going to have 0 x's because we already have our negative x. We don't want to screw it up. So with our negative x, 3 times what gives you negative x? Well, that's just 0x. 0 times 3 is 0. And that makes it easier to multiply in our table. 0x times x gives us 0x squared. And just like before, we have 0x squared plus something here needs to give us 3x squared is that term. So that obviously is going to be 3x squared. Looking outward, we have 3 times something gives us 3x squared. Okay, 3 times something. And that is just going to be x squared. Okay, and you'll notice as we multiply our x squared times our x, we do end up with our x cubed. So that means we did it correctly. So our final answer is x squared minus 1. Notice we don't need to put the 0x in there in this case.